SEMO head coach Andy Sawyers, 8th season with the program, team picked 3rd in the preseason poll. Coach, just thoughts on your team entering the season, and what do you think about this 2024 campaign?
So far, I think, our guys have been pretty stinking good. Obviously we finished the 23 season in a disappointing fashion, and they've been extremely motivated and very focused to kind of get that taste out of their mouth. We tried to give them as challenging a fall as we possibly could, and they answered the bell every time and crossed every hurdle. They've been fun to be around. And so, no one knows if they're any good right now. We can all think we're pretty good, and none of us have lost a game yet. And so what we think about our teams is nothing to what we're going to know, by the end of next weekend. But so far, they've done what they're supposed to. They've been fun to be around, and they've gotten after it.
What is your mix, number of returners versus newcomers, and how do you sort of meld those returning guys in with anybody that's new for your team?
We have quite a few guys back, but we've got a lot. I don't know. We're maybe, I don't know off the top of my head. We're not half and half. We're more than a third newcomer. So we've got some new faces. I think what's exciting is we hit on some new guys. Every year it's recruiting's an inexact science. Sometimes you take guys you're in love with and they don't ever play as good. I think we hit on some new guys. I think we're gonna have some new players be very, very impactful. And so, while we do have a good number of new dudes, I'm super pumped. I think we probably hit on a higher number on some of these guys than we have maybe in the years past.
Anybody to highlight either offensively or on the mound that you're expecting big things from, either returners or newcomers?
Yeah, so I think two bats stand out. One is Michael Mogan. He's a center fielder from California. He can run, he can hit, he's got power. He'll play every day and probably be somewhere in the middle of the order, 2, 3, or 4. And then we have probably as talented a freshman as we've had in a long time, a young man named Brooks Kettering. He's a left-hand hitter. He can run, he can hit. Very talented young man. I can't believe we got him, to be honest with you. And so those two guys offensively, they will be in the lineup opening day, guaranteed, and excited about those guys. And then probably 3 arms all have the chance to be starting on the weekend by halfway through the year. They're not all going to be there right now, but we've got 3 guys that are all of weekend starter talent. Brian Strange, probably the one frontlining that. Alex Hayes, a left-hander, and then Sam Heyman, another right-hander. Those 3 guys are all, 90 and above, secondary pitches for strikes, competitive, good makeup. But those 3 guys of our newcomers are going to have very, very, very big roles for us.
Chandler tells me 20 returners, 11 newcomers. So you were almost exactly right, Coach, on your percentages there. What is the strength of the SEMO team on February 8th? And do you expect there maybe to be another strength on May 8th?
I think we're going to hit. We set the school record for homers in 22. We were not as offensive a year ago. I think we're going to really hit. I think we're more athletic than we've been in years past. I think we'll be able to run more. I think that I'm excited about our arm talent. Right now, we haven't had a ton of separation in terms of roles. For the 21 and the 22 years we were in back-to-back regionals, we had a great bullpen and it was very defined. We knew on opening day who our closer was and who the setup men were. We just had great definition in roles. We don't have that right now. I've got guys I'm excited about, but I think that's going to be a little bit of a work in progress. I feel like probably our rotation, what we roll out there on week 1 against Dallas Baptist, is probably not going to be what it is in our 6th week of the season when we open up a conference. So I just feel like there's some work to be done in terms of establishing of roles and figuring out how we can best utilize our personnel.
Also, that schedule, and you all have played. Dallas Baptist has been a good team. You all have played tough non-conference teams. So how did this year's non-conference schedule sort of fall together for you?
DBU, obviously, they've been ranked, I think, each of the last 3 or 4 years. They're not ranked this year. I think that's not a sign of they have bad talent, but they've got all the new players. They only returned 4 arms that pitched a year ago, so they lost most of their pitching staff. They have a very talented lineup. They've got a first rounder on the mound. The guy we're going to see opening day is supposed to go in the top 15 picks, so that's going to be really good. And we're home for a couple weeks. St. Thomas out of Minnesota. We got school from the MAC. Dayton coming in. Then we've got We go to Marshall, and we have Western Kentucky. So I think that Marshall weekend is going to be a fun trip for us. Never been there. They're opening a brand new ballpark, probably a $15 million facility. Western Kentucky, second year for Mark Reardon. They're going to be very good. They were improved a year ago significantly. And the NBU. So we've got 3 really, really tough series. And then a couple at home that hopefully we can play well in. So like, it's not like SEC every weekend, but I think it's a pretty challenging schedule.
Well, let's dig in a little bit more on the OVC then. Now 10-member baseball league, got Western Illinois as the addition. You had 3 new teams the year before. Things change and the teams have changed, but what do you foresee maybe just across the board generally on the OVC for 2024?
It appears to be an older league than in years past. I feel like you talk to, like Little Rock, I think returns their entire team. It seems like every single player's back. Moorhead has a lot of guys back off of a team that won the regular season championship a year ago. We return a lot of impact players off a team that for the most part of last year was leading the league. So those are the 3 top teams you think about returning from a year ago, and we're all pretty old. And so, I feel like it's going to be an older league. UT Martin, I thought, had a great lineup last year. They've got a lot of their lineup back. So I feel like the overall level of our play of our conference could be significantly increased just due to the fact that there's so many returning players and returning good players in the conference.
I realize the preseason poll is so we can make a social media graphic and get people excited, but your team was picked 3rd. You're consistently near the top. What does that just say about sort of the respect, SEMO baseball has? And then how can you prove people either wrong by winning it or right by finishing in the top half of the league? And, do you use that as a motivator, or is it just kind of pointless?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, I'm not so arrogant that I think we have to be ranked first. Last year, we were picked first. Last year, we were the unanimous pick to win it. We didn't finish it off, right? So you do know what those preseason rankings are worth, right? In the end, I mean, if it was a significant gap from where I thought we were, then I'd probably try to use it as locker room, poster board material. But I'm just more focused on trying to get our club to play right and do their jobs right and execute the game. And so, like, it's not that big of a deal to me. Last year when we were picked to win it, I wasn't overly excited about it, nor am I insulted by the fact that we finished 3rd. I think we have a good team, and I'm excited about that. They've shown to be young men of high character, and they've really gotten after it. And I'm excited to go see where we stand in a week.
I asked you about your strengths, but if you had to say one thing that down the stretch your team will need to do to be successful and put you in the position to be the champions, what is that one thing?
Stay healthy. We've got the smallest roster I've ever had. I think we only have 30 young men on our roster. I like all 30. All 30, like, it's not like we're redshirting guys because they need to develop. Like, all 30 of our guys can play, but it's not. We kind of went the other way. Post-COVID, everybody's roster got bigger. Feel like if you got 45 guys on a roster, I mean, you're only traveling 27. How do you keep people content and locked in when you got 15 people not making the road trips on the weekend? I think that's a challenge. And, our roster is smaller than it has been in years past. I really like our team, but we need to stay healthy.
We'll end just some talk about the OVC tournaments back in Marion. I know you were all just there for one game last year, but you're the closest team to the venue. Talk about, being there and how you could use that as an advantage with fans, if your team has an extended stay there.
I mean, I like the venue. I think I appreciate the fact the hotels and stuff are all close. So from a coach's standpoint, I mean, we got to walk back and forth from the hotel to the games to watch it play. Like, that matters to me. I enjoy being able to. I'm a baseball fan first and foremost. I like going to games, and I want to see as many games as I can in the tournament. I always appreciate it when the hotels are close and you can walk and kids can go back and forth and watch some games. I appreciate that, and I think they did a really nice job hosting the event. So I'm glad it's back. I mean, hopefully we're playing well at the time, and a lot of fans go. We had a lot of people show up last year. We just didn't stick around very long. So, for us, if we're there and playing well, it can be an advantage, hopefully, as people come to watch the Redhawks win. But, all that hinges on us doing our job. So, I mean, we got to do our part first.
Well, let me close with this then. You've created quite an atmosphere at home with your venue and fans and been successful. Talk a little bit about that and how that's sort of grown and have developed over your tenure.
Yeah, I think I'm blessed. I came into a situation where SEMO's always done that. SEMO, from the free beer nights they've done for 50 years, it seems like. We give away free food and free beer once a week. I mean, you're in a college town with a good baseball team and you're passing out, free hot dogs and hamburgers and cold beer. You're probably going to have fans showing up, right? But we've had a good environment at home for a long time. We've done some things with the facility with the help. We've got a summer team that plays there now, so they've invested some of their dollars. So we've got what I think probably the most fan friendly venue in the OVC, and a great place to watch a ball game. And so like that is a cool, it's a cool environment to watch a ball game, and we're lucky to have it, I feel like. And heck, I'd like to bid on the conference tournament. I'd love to get that thing back on a campus side. I'd love to host it at SEMO. So I don't know if you know anybody that makes those decisions, but we'd love to take a shot at that at some point.
Well, I'll mention that down the hallway. So, Coach, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck to your team this season as we get things started.
All right. Thanks, Scott.